Just once.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of the day it is with you. We're so happy to have you joining us tonight on Let's Talk. And I'm streaming to you from both the AEM page as well as my two pages. So I should be seeing all those of you who are coming on. And so I want to greet Katina and Gladys and Valencia. Valencia will be missing you, but I know you need to be over there at this time with your
That's Valencia
daughter.
Walsh.
Oh, that's Valencia Walsh. Sorry. Hi, Valencia Walsh. And that was my husband talking in the background there, people. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all those of you who have already joined us. God bless every one of you. Can you please do us what we usually ask you to do, which is to share, to like, to invite, to copy the link maybe and send it to somebody that you are interested in getting to know what you know or sharing in the blessings that you share on. I can't believe that, when today I was talking to my husband and to Teresa, and they were talking about next week is Christmas. And I'm saying, no, next week is not Christmas. I don't know why I thought we had another week after this week. And so it was just mind boggling to me that next week is already Christmas. Oh my goodness, the time is really, really being shortened, as the Bible says. And I guess it's because, as the word says, except those days be shortened, even the elect would be in trouble. So I don't mind God shortening the days. And I actually read something recently where scientifically they are showing that our days are actually shorter, that the earth is actually spinning faster than it used to spin. I don't know all the details of it. I wouldn't even try to explain it because I myself didn't understand it. But it was an article that it was an article written by some one of those people who deal with space and all of these things. So, as I said, that's why Christmas seems to be just around the corner. And I don't know if we will have a program next Monday because some of you I know are last minute people that go running around shopping at the last minute. And I am sounding as if I'm not one of those. But I'm trying to be a little better this year and have most of my shopping done by this weekend, God willing. So I trust that those of you who are still running around, that, we will be able to get together maybe on Monday evening, the Lord willing, even if it's just for a short time. So as I said, welcome to those of you who are coming on and those of you who shared. Thank you, Katina, for sharing. And I don't know who else shared. I'm not seeing the thing scrolling. So I don't know. Probably, I don't know. So, but I see that there are at least 27 of you on. I don't know if that's on AEM, on my page, or where, but wherever you are joining us from, even if you are looking at this after the fact, welcome to Let's Talk. And as you probably know, or maybe you didn't know, this is a program where we just, I share for about just half an hour. And then we will post a Zoom link where you can join us and we can all have some conversation together. And I am estimating that our Zoom conversation will be probably a little shorter than it usually is because I know this is a very busy time for every one of us. So, as I said before, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please share, please like, please invite, and let me know if you are actually seeing me because I don't know which page I'm being I'm being seen from, and so I don't know if I'm seeing everybody that is actually on. So give me a moment, let me just check and see what's going on, and see if I'm missing some of you that might be already viewing me. Well, I'm not seeing myself. Okay, so hopefully I'm on somewhere. All right, so what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, I know last week we shared about the martyr complex, the MARTYR complex, and we had a lot to say about that because I don't know how many of you might have identified yourself or identified someone else, but I did identify some of those traits, at least in myself. And, it's one thing when you recognize something about yourself, it's another thing entirely to try to, do something about it, make some changes. And so I determined that I'm going to make some changes myself because I don't want to operate from a martyr complex, because that kind of complex, that kind of service, I don't think it's a service that gives God joy, because you are actually serving, but you're serving from a place of, how should I say, feeling persecuted, feeling as if, you are being taken advantage of, and not serving gladly. And, the Bible tells us to serve the Lord with gladness, to serve the Lord with gladness. How many of you realize that sometimes we all need a little adjustment, a little adjustment in our in the way that we are serving, that we need to have a different kind of mindset when it comes to serving. On Friday night at Kingdom Life here in Kissimmee, there was a very beautiful party that was the leadership organized just to recognize the volunteers, just to let them know that their volunteer service is not does not go in vain, and that that it is appreciated. And I want to encourage every one of you, especially those of you that might be heading up you might be heading up what should I say? You might be heading up a team or something like that. Even if it's not initiated from the head up, you take the initiative and make sure that you are recognizing people that have served well, and even you might not be a leader. When I say leader, every one of us lead in some respect or the other, but you might, just take some time, even over the rest of this week, the rest of this year, to just recognize somebody that has been a blessing to you. Somebody, maybe they just gave you a word of encouragement at a time when you really needed it, or maybe they reached out and blessed you at a time when you really needed it, or they're just always ready to help. They're just always it's as if they're always on call. Don't just take that for granted. Be the kind of person that will actually reach out and express appreciation to those. And I love this season of the year because it is always filled with so much, a sense of joy, a sense of there's just a special feeling in the air. I don't know if you feel it. I don't know if it's just my imagination, some people would say, but I do know that this time of the year has always been a special time for me. I guess because of family and, just there's just something in the air, as they say. There's just a different feeling in the air, and it's really a wonderful time. And I'm seeing that Brenda and the rest of you who have come on, I appreciate every one of you. I see Lizelle Nakua. Hi, you watching? Good to see you. I thought I haven't seen you for a while, but it's nice to have you on tonight. Michael Allen, good to have you on as well. And Ursuline Morris, good to have you. Miranda, our daughter there, good to have you. And I don't know if Apostle told you, but we did bring you back a token from Qatar. Is that a Qatar, Dubai? One of them. We brought you back something from there, Miranda. So you will get it when we see you. Okay. All right then. So what are we going to share on tonight? We just have just a few minutes into the half hour mark, and I came across this verse because I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I want to share something positive. I want to share something encouraging. I tend sometimes to be the teacher too much, and the strict teacher. Obviously you all would have realized that I am not the most jovial person, although I do enjoy a good joke and I do laugh, contrary to what some of you may have heard. I do laugh, and goodness, somebody's trying to call. I do laugh. Honey, if you're looking, can you please put your devices on do not disturb, because I don't want to be kicked out of the program. Yeah, I'm using his device, so I saw a call coming through there. Yes, I do laugh, and I'm not all serious all the time, but I do come across as serious. So I told the Lord, Lord, I want to share something that's encouraging, and stuff like that. So I came across this verse of scripture, and I thought I would share it with you. And it's taken from Genesis chapter 39 and verse 5 in the Passion Translation. And it says here, from the moment Potiphar appointed Joseph over his household, Yahweh blessed the Egyptians' affairs for Joseph's sake. The blessing of Yahweh was upon everything Potiphar owned. His finances increased, his crops flourished, and his flocks and herds multiplied. I don't know if you're getting this. I don't know if this makes you excited. I don't know if this makes you happy. But let me just set the tone here. Let me just set the background here. As you all probably know, those of you who are familiar with scripture, that Joseph's brothers had sold him into slavery. And his first assignment was in this man's household. Potiphar was his name. And it is saying here that from the moment Potiphar appointed Joseph over his household. Now, this is the first thing, because I don't think that happened right away. I think it is as Potiphar observed how Joseph was serving, even before he was promoted. He saw something in this young man that caused him to appoint him over his household. And it says, from the moment that happened, that God blessed the Egyptians' affairs for Joseph's sake. So what does this tell us? This means that even your unsaved employer, even your unsaved supervisor, even someone that might be very anti-God and anti-Christ, that when you are appointed, or when they put you in a place of authority, in a place of service, that God will bless them for your sake. And it says the blessing of God was upon everything Potiphar owned. His finances increased, his crops flourished, and his flocks and herds multiplied. I think some of you that work for others should post right now and say, I am needed by my employer. Or you can say, my employer prospers because of my presence. Yes, and let me tell you something. They will know, God will cause them to know that it is because of you that they are there. God will bring you to that place where if you tell them you are going to leave, they will tell you, listen, I can't do without you. And, my husband was sharing a testimony this morning from one of our daughters in the Lord. And, she has worked for a lady for years upon years. And, he was saying that the lady gave her, she wanted a raise, but the lady gave her an $8 an hour raise. Why? Because the lady realizes that she is being blessed because of the presence of that young lady in her employ. And wherever you are, this should be what is being noted about you, that you are a blessing, that because of you, your place of employment prospers. Listen, you can make a difference to what is happening. I don't care if they're saying, maybe you're working in one of those stores that they say is closing down, and you can make some declarations and say this store is not going to close down as long as I am working here. Why? Because when your employer is blessed, you are going to be blessed as well. And so we have to realize that, listen, we are not ordinary people. Somebody say, I'm not an ordinary person. Sometimes people look at you and they think you're ordinary. You're not ornery. Ornery means, when you behave badly. I hope none of you have that reputation on your job. But you're not an ordinary person. We are supernatural people, where when we are in a place, things happen, things change because of our presence there. Laws can be overturned. Policies can be changed. I mentioned this morning about the young lady that, did not even have a degree, and the position required a degree, but her atheist employer or supervisor had seen something in her, and favor was extended to her, where she got a position that was supposed to be only allowed for someone with a degree. And not only that, now after having worked in that position for a couple years, she has now received, she received an $8,000 raise. She was placed at the same level as those who were there before her, and those who may have appeared as more qualified than her. What is this? This is that kind of supernatural favor that follows us, that follows the believer. Listen, stop going around as if it's a cloud that's that's following you. Stop going around with that air as if the sky is falling. I don't know if you know that story that we used to know as little children, where this person went around, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, just because an acorn fell on his head. No, don't go around with that. Go lift up your head. So many times the Bible tells us, lift up our head, strengthen our feeble knees. My husband likes to say, put a smile on your face. Let's walk into our place of employment or wherever we are, even if it's a place we volunteering. Let's walk in there with that air of success, with that air of confidence around us, because listen, the people around you are blessed because of you. I say that even in maybe you're not working, but maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you're a retiree, but listen, your street, your neighborhood should be blessed because of you. I saw something come across on our Ring doorbell earlier today, a warning saying that and this was like around 5 o'clock this morning, and somebody had sent a warning saying that, be careful, because there's somebody out there trying to steal cars. And, I mentioned it to my husband later on, and he says, not here, not in our street, and that is the confidence that we have to have. Listen, not in our street, not in our kids, our children's school, not in our Walmart or Target or wherever we go, because we have to get that understanding that we are not ordinary people. We have to get that understanding understanding and walk in that knowledge that, hey, wherever I am, whatever I put my hand to do prospers. That even, my boss is going to be coming to me for ideas, asking me, what do you think we should do about this? That promotion is coming to me because I am a blessing in this place. I know one of our intercessors, she works in a jewelry store, a store that sells these expensive watches. And, they know that they are blessed. They know that they are doing, that they're making top performances because of her presence there. Even my daughter, her team, sometimes it looks as if they're not doing well, and then she says sometimes, mommy, without me even doing anything or saying anything or not being able to do something at that time, all of a sudden my team hits it, and it is one of the top teams in the entire organization. Listen, people, we are not regular people. The blessing of Yahweh is going to be upon everything that your employer owns. His finances will increase, his crops will flourish, his flocks and his herds will multiply. And not only that, but he will acknowledge and realize that it is because of your presence that all of this is happening. Isn't this a wonderful testimony? Isn't this something that, even without you having to even say a word, that people will recognize that the blessing of God is upon your life. People will recognize that there's something about you, and they will be drawn towards you because of your presence. Listen, what you expect is what is going to be is going to be attracted towards you. Sometimes we go in a place, and we're in a place and we're expecting everybody to dislike us. We're expecting, oh, because I'm a Christian, they're gonna take advantage of me. Because I'm a Christian, nobody's gonna listen. If you have that expectation, that is what is going to follow you. But if you walk like a child of the King, if you walk in that place with that confidence, hey, I am not a regular person. I am a child of the King. And wherever I go, blessings follow me. Blessings follow me. Blessings follow me. That we could be in the midst of a storm, and we could stand up like Paul and tell the people, hey, listen, there stood an angel of God last night, and he has given me the lives of all those who are in the ship. Listen, God will give you the life of those who are in the ship with you. God will give you the life of those who are working in that office with you. God will give you the life of those who are flying on that plane with you, or in that train with you. Listen, you are not an ordinary person. You are a person that is attracting prosperity. You're a person that's attracting increase. You're a person that is attracting the blessings of God. And even though you might be working for an ungodly person, God will still bless them. Just because of you. Just because of you. Can you come into agreement with that? Can you believe that about yourself? Listen, if we believe that about ourselves, those of you who work in retail, those of you who are working out there in stores, or wherever you may be, whatever business you might be in, listen, you can be in expectation that this season is going to be a bumper season. It's going to be a season where your employers, where you work, where your team, or that group that you head up, that they do extraordinarily well. And this, it works in any situation. You can apply it to your home. You can apply it on your job. You can apply it to your church. You can apply it to your ministry. Pastor Kenneth was saying, and this is so true, when you've pastored for years, you find out that, people many times forget that Christmas time is supposed to be celebrating Christ. And as a result of not understanding that, people start to go low on their giving. People hold back because they are channeling their finances into other places. And many churches around the nation end up at the end of the year or the beginning of the year in a place where, oh my goodness, what's happening? That happens then, and then during the summer too, where people are traveling and they travel with their tithes and their offerings, churches can really suffer. But I remember one of the things we used to claim when we were pastoring is that, that this summer is going to be the best summer we've ever had. And, God used to honor our confession. God used to honor our expectation. And so our church never went dry or went low because of it. Because the church continues to have, just like us, you still, if you're renting, you still have your rent to pay. If you have employees, you still have your employees to pay. You still at Christmas time, you still want to give a bonus. You still want to be a blessing to some family or something like that. And it cannot happen if everybody holds back on their giving. And so we have found over the years that, listen, if we have that expectation that it doesn't matter what's going on the outside, it doesn't matter what might be taking place, that we must prosper, we must do well, and even those that are associated with us, those that are under our covering, and you may say, well, my employer is not under my covering. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. If he doesn't know the Lord as his Savior, then you are the one that's providing covering for that job, covering for that employer. And, so anybody who is under your covering should be blessed and should excel and do well. So I want some of you to just be posting something about yourself, something about maybe it's for this is for you for your home, maybe this is for you for your place of employment, maybe this is for you for your business if you have a business, or maybe it's a startup business or whatever it is. But listen, what worked for Joseph, and what was how should I say, what was the norm for Joseph? Because after that, when he went and he went through some stuff, and you do go through stuff, because sometimes people are jealous and whatever it is like that. Sometimes you have someone that just doesn't recognize or value you, and so sometimes you go through some stuff. But the thing is, you're not going to stay there, and so Joseph went from Potiphar. Yes, he went into the pit, from the pit to Potiphar's house, from Potiphar's house to the prison, but then he went to the palace. And there at the palace, he excelled again. And Pharaoh himself recognized that he was blessed, and the whole of Egypt was being blessed and was prospering because of Joseph. What is your employer saying about you? What is what do your relatives say about you? What do your friends have to say about you? Do they realize that your presence, just your how should I say, just your presence is a blessing to them? It should be, and it should be noted. And so we want to, as we're talking about this, we're going to go into our Zoom conversation. And what I'm looking for in our Zoom conversation is, for some of you who have experienced this in your life, where maybe you worked for somebody, or you worked in a certain setting, and your place of employment, or the business, or maybe just the home that you worked in, or the children that you were taking care of, or whatever it is, that blessings and blessings were just following them. And maybe you did not realize at the time, hey, it's because I am here. It's because I'm a child of God. It's because I am praying. I'm making my declarations. I'm covering this family. I'm covering these children that I'm babysitting, or I'm covering these senior citizens that I am taking care of, or whatever it is. Maybe you didn't attribute it to your presence, but now as we've talked about it, you can say, hey, this is really so. Look, Joseph P. Angle has posted the link, and I want to encourage you at this time to join us for a short time of conversation, for a short time of testimonies, or whatever it is that will help to make what we shared tonight a reality to somebody else. Okay? So have a wonderful rest of the week. For those of you who cannot or will not be joining our Zoom, but I trust that enough of you will join that we will have some kind of good conversation around this. So maybe we'll have to discuss on the Zoom, how can we portray to others this blessing that, we know that is working as a result of us. Well, we're going to end now, and looking forward to seeing you joining us on the Zoom. For the rest of you, have a wonderful rest of the week. See you next Monday, the Lord willing. And for those of you who join us on AEM Live, The Voice, see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the Lord willing. And join Pastor in the afternoon at 5 o'clock for his wisdom school. Okay? Love all of you. Thank you all for joining. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. You're going on. Okay, I understand. Gladys. God bless.